All right, Gary in Tennessee. Gary, you're on with John Clark.
Well, thank you very much.
I heard by somebody that was an RBN host today that they were going to hold a martial law exercise nationwide next month.
That's what they've said. That's what the government claims. Yes.
Yeah.
NORAD.
Is this 9/11 too?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of. It's possible, but there are a lot of false indicators and false claims that people can read into. But I think when they do something again, it's going to be without them announcing it, quite honestly.
Well, I don't know. All I'm saying is that if they've got everybody mobilized in position and everything, and then they do 4 dirty nukes in 4 different cities in the country, they are all set up and ready to go, and we're going to be sitting here trying to find our backside with both hands.
Well, there's no question that this administration is probably the most dangerous administration, really, since Wilson and FDR in conspiring against the people and planning our demise. I mean, George Bush is sitting down appealing with the Red Chinese leader to go easy, when George Bush's administration has facilitated the building up of this Red Chinese dictatorship. And of course, we know why. The economic factor, the note that they carry for the United States. This has endangered us. It's endangered our allies like Taiwan. And of course, it's growing militarily more dangerous every day. George Bush is helping to destroy. His administration is bringing about the destruction of our once sovereign nation. And I know you have some thoughts on that,
He
John,
has done more damage in 8 years than they've done in the last 50.
Yeah,
and I heard a psychiatrist, certified regular doctor psychiatrist, speak on the air, and he analyzed Bush's speeches and appearances and all of his stuff he said and everything. He said that man is pure psychotic crazy.
No kidding.
He did.
No
right
kidding.
Right on the air. Yeah, you talk about lock and load, man.
All right.
We're getting all of our buckshot ready.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Thanks for checking in. John, can you stay a little longer?
I put it to him, didn't I? Yeah, we're getting all of our buckshot out. Bring it on, suckers. Time they get to these little towns in the woods out here, they'll be spread out so thin you just pick them off one at a time. And believe me, I don't have a problem with it. Well, folks, today it's 100 degrees and 95% humidity. Before I get down explaining all this, I'll be sweating like a lady of the night in church. Trust me. First thing we're going to start out with was that I bought ammunition I don't even have guns for. As I told a policeman, I said, if I feel like I need a gun, I'm going to have to take yours. They can afford to buy better ones than I can. But I did buy the ammunition. This is Wolf ammunition. It's steel case, non-reloadable, shoot once, throw away, period, amen. This happens to be 50 grain 223 boat tail bullets. It's about 300 to 400 yards in that range. The next group of shells is 308. The first one is a hunting round made by Winchester. It's got a soft point for expansion to give a large wound channel and a lot of bloodletting. The second one is a full metal jacket military round with a boat tail. That's made for killing people. Now we go to the 7.62 by 39, commonly known as the AK-47 round. Solid points for hunting people. The exposed point is for hunting game. AK-47 is good up to about 300 yards is pushing it. And most of your shooting is going to be done, combat's going to be done at 50 yards to 100 yards max. Out of these 3 rounds, I had one choice. I'd probably choose the AK-47. Because an AK-47, you can drop it in the mud, the sand, and the water, and it'll cycle. The next one is a solid nose 9mm. That's a standard military round for pistols. And then there's the Remington hollow point with the slits down the rounds for expansion. This is a bad news load at close range in a 9mm. This is good for snakes. First one is a 22 shot shell, and that blue thing on the top is where the shot capsule is. This is a 22 rimfire shot capsules type round. This is the 38, and you can get them up to 44 or 45. Now we're going to get into some shotgun shells. First one here is a Federal, they call it a Sabot. Some of them call them Sabots. It's spelled S-A-B-O-T, so, you know, in Tennessee it's probably Sabot. If you're a Frenchman, it's probably Sabot. That's got a plastic casing around the bullet, and then when it fires and goes out the barrel, that plastic casing folds out and the bullet keeps going. But you need a rifled barrel shotgun for that to spin that. Now this one here is a standard rifle slug 12 gauge round for deer hunting, and it's got fins on it, and you can shoot it in a smooth bore, and those fins will grab that smooth bore, will grab those fins and it'll spin that bullet to give it stabilization through flight. Because if a bullet's not spinning, it won't be stable and it'll tumble, and you will have zip accuracy. Next is GreyBeard. That's a French name, but it's made in Czechoslovakia, probably out of a Wolf ammunition factory. But the first one is a number 6. That's good for squirrels and rabbits. Here's a number 4. That's good for turkey. This has 12 double lock pellets in it. Now we're going to go into the 22 caliber stuff. This first one is a 22 hollow point yellow jacket, and I think it's got a 35 grain bullet, and it's got normal amount of 22 long rifle high velocity powder in it, but it's got a lot more speed and it shoots flatter, but it hasn't got good long range, down range characteristics. This one is an extremely interesting. This is 22 sniper ammunition, rimfire. It's made by Aguilar. I think that's Mexican. If you'll notice how long that bullet is, that's a 60 grain bullet. However, it has almost the same amount of powder as this bullet does in it, believe it or not. And the 60 grains slows it down to about 950 beats per second, which is supposed to be subsonic, so you don't get that crack and expose your location. The last one is the subsonic Remington, and it's got a regular 45 grain bullet hollow point, but it's got a little bit of powder taken out of it to slow it down, or it's got a slower, different burning rate in the powder. There's different ways you can adjust the velocity on bullets. And the last thing is kind of an interesting thing here. The red thing is a shell casing, and this is for indoor 38 target practice. You put a primer in the back, no powder, because it's made out of plastic, and you end up, here is the plastic bullet that it shoots. So you basically put a primer in the back, you put this bullet, snap it down into the case, and a heavy blanket will stop it for a backstop. So you can set up a blanket in front of your fireplace, sit on the other side of the living room, and practice with your 38 all day long. This is a shot shell capsule. The bottom of it is a white plug. You fill this full of shot. That's the kind of a smattering of the different types of ammunition I got. And I figure they're going to shut the ammunition sales off in the country first. They're starting to shut gun dealers down now, so you better get your ammunition bought. You better get your guns bought now. Halliburton is starting to buy up the ammo manufacturing company, one right after the other right now. And guess they're going to put the control on it real quick.